You know, they haven't been able to really test themselves. Here they have a good opportunity to do so. But, you know, OG, they have the OG name to live up to, so they're going to be bringing their all.
I think the expectations around this OG squad, of course, you win 2 TIs, you come back, you're playing online Dota, you've got your full squad finally. Expectations are high. The fans want to see wins. You know, the excuses are there ready when you're playing from Southeast Asia. I think rightfully so. They're valid excuses. They haven't had the hottest start here at ESL One Birmingham Online. They dropped a 2-1 series, and then they won a series yesterday, so they're 1-1 without maybe playing some of the tougher teams in the group yet. But this is a big one. This is a team, you know, who's kind of the hot deal in CIS right now. They're playing here instead of the VP main roster. They had that grand finals you mentioned against Team Secret, so I think VPP definitely a team that the CIS community have a lot of faith in.
Yeah, I don't know the exact details again on why Virtus.Pro are here or not. Obviously, they're in the same org, but how they decided which team to participate just before this ESL event did begin. They had that league play together, and it was Virtus.Prodigy who bested Virtus.Pro like 3-0, if I'm not mistaken, in the grand final. So maybe they decided there that, you know what, let the Prodigy kids get in there and swing with the best of them. And so far, they have been living up to the hype that has been built behind them here. And these players going to be looking to bring it their all, going against former TI champions now. I'm curious on how much emphasis is going to be on this Tidebringer lane. As we know, Tidebringer, not one to surface too often in these games, but you have a Lycan on the other side, and this just felt like the right opportunity to pull it out here and now.
Yeah, I think it's a hero you're only going to see in very specific scenarios, and Lycan is definitely one of them. So we'll see how DM does. Typically, his job is just going to be to go wherever the Lycan is and stop any kind of a push. So we may see Sumail focus more on trying to play around his ultimate, getting some hero kills, and turning those kills into towers, because if Tide gets farm, you can't really push into Anchor Smash.
He will try to be that brick wall of pushing pressure that OG planned to pull out here. Already acknowledged by our panel. You know, the holes that are there potentially in their draft.
Bit of a courier play down bottom, no tail. Snipes the courier, takes a lot of damage. Save did some nice juking with it. So as a result, no tail has to chew through a lot of regen.
Hits him with the don't be mad. I'm sure OG very thankful. The battle pass is in full force now.
That's a direct buff to them.
Absolutely. As No Tail now on that pesky Enchantress that he's been really fond of in this meta so far, being annoying, and as we saw, going for the creeps here. Top tower, getting a bit aggressive here. Here comes Bane, looking to hunt down a bird. Soxa trying to hide within the trees, is able to get the salve off. No dive quite yet. Fire Spirit's about to come off cooldown. These supports are getting frisky. The cores don't want any of that business. They have creeps to focus on. And eventually Soxa will find his way out from the trees. Bane left behind, a little awkward, but he'll find his way through, it looks like.
He's asking Tide to help him out.
Mind cutting me a free path here, sir? Thank you very much.
Gets him out. And yeah, it's just kind of the supports will trade blows a lot, chew through their regen, but Lycan and Tide kind of ignoring each other for the most part. Tide's going to have an early ring, going for a fast hood, it looks like, potentially. Over a bottom lane, PL so far not having the easiest of lanes. Batrider, Ench, definitely two very annoying heroes that are going to constantly spam and harass you, but with the stick charges, Epileptic Kid will have plenty of sustain for his lane and be able to just lance some creeps here and there as well.
Definitely going to be annoying for Save to try to equalize the lane. It's in a decent spot now, but they do decide to make the call. The lift is there, though, from Save, and for the namesake, pushes them back, doesn't allow the pressure to continue. But mid one gets now a full wave to kind of work with and burn on through. Just glancing at the CS game right now for mid lane, Thompson is falling behind a bit, but he's making an aggressive move on to FN now, is able to force him back, and this will help him recover a bit. Oh, needs another lightning bolt.
Nice. Cancels the salve.
Nice. Snipe there. Thompson should be able to comfortably now hold this position, but look who's creeping in. It's No Tail, anticipating that a courier is trying to come with a salve, but they're looking to pincer in and try to get that first blood. Oh, the Centaur not able to catch the stun, but he's able to juke through the trees, head out the other direction, and then turn back and take the Centaur for a little bit of gold.
Yeah, slightly misplayed that on the OG side. Nice juke by FN, knowing that the Centaur Sun was going to come in. He turned around, but No Tail's not going to give up on this mid lane, sticking around, has a Hellbear now as well, so DK, not the happiest camper, but he's got some Tengo regen kicking in, he's got Dragon Blood. Once he heals up, he's actually A-OK now, so A lot of resources invested by OG, and they don't get the kill.
And by this point now, we see Bane rotating on over as it's 4 minutes, and they're going to look to go for some security onto these runes. It looks like it is going to be Ein picking up the regen at the top. Thompson very low, has to step on back, and No-Tail will deny himself to Roche just with the awkward positioning he was in. Not able to get a lot in the mid lane, so that sets him back a bit.
Most notably, we're seeing Sumail go for very early jungle. Level 3 only on the Lycan. And feeling like he can't play in lane against the Tide. This is going to give Tide an absolutely free top lane. The nice thing about this is they've got a forward position who can really take advantage of having a lane. We'll see a fast level 6 on Phoenix. We'll see some decent farm on Phoenix potentially even as a result.
It looks like Bane, though, was shifting through that jungle front. Sumail's back in lane now, and they do a bit of a do-side-do, and the Phoenix is now going to deal with the support play, but now you have a more yoked-out Tide Hunter to go toe-to-toe with the Lycan. So things a bit awkward for OG at the top lane for the time being.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see him head into the jungle and then back to the lane. I guess they... Yeah, I mean, you've given Tide an even bigger advantage before coming back to this lane now.
5-minute bounty time may be a little bit of a deciding factor there on how they shift around a bit.
4 bounties for VPP.
Man.
They're crushing this laning stage so far. 2K gold lead without a single kill. Yet to see that first blood.
Which really, as mentioned before, it is on OG to make this lane stage work. But as we can see, the first blood is going to be picked up by Save here, sniping down the Bat Rider. The chase is on now for No-Tail. Not enough to really get any sort of pursuit, but there we go. Our first kill on the board. It's going the way of Prodigy.
Yeah, this is not going too well for them, and I kind of worry for what they can do around this Lycan once he gets his early item timings. There's just no ability to really push down towers when Tide's getting as farmed as he is. So much is going to come down to what Thompson can achieve with his Zeus. He's a full level behind the DK, though. FN is crushing this mid lane.
He is, and you see OG now putting so much attention towards these other lanes, in specific the mid lane now. And they're going to be leaving PL to his own devices at the bottom lane, which is no good either. That's just an insurance policy for Prodigy later. But they've decided, they've committed, they're looking to go on in the mid lane. They want to get something going. They go for the Bane. The Bane sleeps himself, but they're waiting for him, and they blast him down. OG able to get themselves on the board. Here comes Save. And they both are just dancing around a bit. FN looking to pursue mid one, but that sticky slows him down. And with the end of the Dragon form, he will have to step back towards the mid lane. But, how content can OG be with all this time and resources on only getting the Bane? Thompson wants more. He wants more. He's moving in. He's got haste, but he sees Bane show up. Oh, he's able to get off the Thunderstrike and the ulti and gets the finish onto the DK. That is a little more satisfying to the Paladin of OG.
Yeah, well played. Really good use of the haste rune. Jukes the DK stun, doesn't let him get close enough to use it, waits for the bolt to cool down and snipes the kill. Bane had a tiny window to maybe nightmare him. He used the brain sap instead. So unfortunately unable to save his buddy, the DK. But VPP do have that insurance policy. The PL is farming away in the bottom lane. He's also able to just quickly access the jungle. So both side lanes getting all kinds of good farm, but that's exactly how OG get back in this game. It's off of Thompson Zeus, finding some kills, making some plays, getting these kills. Mid one getting very active early on. He's not got much in the way of experience.
Yeah, he's not even level 6 yet, and he just got a little excited chasing down Rubik. Rubik says, hey, if he keeps chasing, we can turn on this, and that's exactly what they do. And while OG may be trying to muster up some confidence, getting that kill in the mid lane with Thompson's all good, DM is now level 7 on his Tide Hunter. He's nearly got the hood complete, and it was already talked about before. If this man manages to finish as a pipe, that is going to be mitigating so much damage output from OG side.
Yeah, you're versing Zeus, you can go for the pipe. Versing the Lycan, you've got all the physical damage mitigation, so rotation mid.
Here they come. They're diving in. They're looking to go for Thompson. Can he find a way out of this somehow? I don't think so. The Ravage is there. The stuns are being stacked up. He just commits out what damage he can. He's chasing on. He's looking to go for save, but it's not going to be there. No-Tail moving in with the Centaur, trying to get the long-range attack. And Sumail says, I got it. I'll chase in, and I'll go for the finish of the Rubik. FN also in trouble, and it's a double kill for Sumail, coming in late to the show, but he cleans things up. And they try to follow it up with a tier 1 takedown. Yeah,
great rotation from OG. They kind of recognize, okay, they're going to all in and kill our Zeus. We're going to make sure they pay for it. You have to commit the Ravage and everything else to kill him. So a perfect move from Sumail, who shows up with that first shapeshift of the game. And we'll take another quick look at it here. It's just too much of a commitment for a Zeus. This is fine if you're not versing a team like OG who's just going to run it right back at you and bring everybody to the party. The Lycan is already in the neighborhood jungling it up, so he's got his Necrobook out. He just comes in and cleans up a couple of easy kills.
Yeah, and, you know, it wouldn't be so bad if FM was somehow to be able to make it out. PL is still farming that bottom lane for that time. But, yeah, that's kind of the confidence and the switch around. You do not want to be handing over to OG after you've built up such a strong early game and laning phase.
Yeah.
But Prodigy, they're back on the objective path. They're adding pressure to that top lane, while OG add their own pressure, taking some side lane tier 1s. Obviously, very important for both these teams to open up their opponent's jungle. OG already working with some deep vision on that jungle side. They see Saksa, top lane. He tries to dive himself out from trouble. Do they want to chase on? No, but
might catch him here. They haven't got Fiend's Grip, though.
Accidental bounty out, but they get the sleep. He goes for the egg, and they just walk out the other direction, saying, okay, everybody, egg's on cooldown. Let's try to get together soon and make a fight happen. But fight's happening already. Mid lane on for F1. The chase is out. Mid one takes flight. He's trying to get close. Looking to go for the lasso. The stun's there, but FN has nothing else to offer if they keep chasing him, and they do. He pops the wand. Bane's on the way, but he's going to be too late. He's early enough, though, to potentially find himself in a bit of trouble, but he gets the sap off. He will heal up, and OG are going to be forced to 180. But mission accomplished and getting that DK taken down.
Yeah, FN is kind of one of the key tempo heroes for this VPP side. He's their tower pusher, their objective taker. The PL and the Tide aren't really, that's not their job.
Woo. That's a lot of damage fast, but Rubik has the heads up and quickly TP's out.
Good heads up play from him. We'll see some of those support level 6s coming in now. The Bane taking the Tome on the Radiant side. So they're not going to give it to the Rubik. They were prioritizing having Fiend's Grip over the Spell Steal, and instantly they're going for a smoke, looking to make a play, try and kill one of these cores using the Fiend's Grip. One of the problems with OG's draft is there is a lack of disables and stuns, so they haven't really got the best ways to cancel this, other than maybe like the Lightning Bolt.
Also have the Ravage available to them. They are being spotted for the time being in that mid lane with the Obs Ward. While trades happening up top here, Saksa slowly chasing down PL. PL maybe trying to coax Saksa in closer while the team is rotating over. It's taking a bit for the Tidehunter to get there, though. Eventually they do show up. OG turn the other direction and try to find a safe haven within the trees here. Ooh, can Bane catch out mid one? Yes, he can. He grips him up. And he will be the sacrificial lamb for that top lane action.
He definitely didn't need the Fiend's Grip there with the Firefly wearing off, but VPP didn't want to mess around, didn't want to waste any time chasing mid one around, so they're just going to commit it.
Trouble for save at the bottom lane, potentially? No. The slow's there from No-Tail, but no Shapeshift, no Necrobook, no heavy damage and chase.
Yeah, a bit surprised to see this Nature's Attendant's Enchantress build. Almost every Enchantress we're seeing is going for the first 2 spells with the Impetus, but no points in Impetus this game.
No-Tail obviously has got great Michael skills, if you will, and would obviously favor using the benefit of the creep early on, but you're right. I mean, Impetus has been known to be such a great harassing tool and a way to kind of dish out some deceptive damage from the backlines. But putting more value into the heal, into the sustain, and into the heavy push early on, I guess, as they make their approach towards the mid lane tier 1. We hear the sound of the smoke as Prodigy are going to be taking to the top half of the river and going to potentially look to catch out OG from behind if they set this up well. Yeah,
they've got the Ravage. They're ready to go. Phoenix forced to dive away.
Yep, and you hear the Shapeshift chase is going to be out there for save. They're chasing their own onto No-Tail. It potentially could be a support for support as we see Sumail finish his plate on one side. No-Tail, it's taking a long time for PL to chase down this pesky No-Tail.
Yeah, that's a
my goodness.
It's like, okay, I'll take you on a little run through the your own jungle, waste some time.
But, you know, Shapeshift is down. Maybe it's a little bit more of a benefit for Prodigy if they can get the call to action here. They still have those big ultis to work with. Tier 1's about to fall. Is Sox going to find a way to deny this one? Well, Thompson nearby. They're blasting him down. No, come on. Yeah, they'll take that deny. But it's still an important tower that will fall.
VPP have the Blink Dagger completed on FN's Dragon Knight now, so that's going to give them some insta-initiation, which is kind of something they've lacked. Yeah, they've got good a good amount of stuns with Rubik and Bane, but neither of those is like the hero that starts a fight particularly well. You don't want either of your squishy supports running in first. That's DK's job, so
yeah,
they want to blink.
And Tide obviously building up the utility first because there's so much magic damage. It's understandable. Here, Fiend's Grip now on to Thompson. That jump in, Blink, as you mentioned, is going to be there, and it's a jump to grab Soxa on the back line, whether to stop them from supporting the Thompson kill or just going for a secondary kill. Either way, they are successful. They pick off the Zeus. And with the rest of Dragon Form, they'll just try to siege down this mid lane as best as possible. What is it for OG to do now? I feel like this was a big chapter that was supposed to play out a little more in their favor, just with how much momentum is supposed to be behind their lineup.
Yeah, I think they want to keep playing around Shapeshift whenever they've got it. They want to just keep running at VPP, punish some of these longer cooldowns, and that's exactly what Sumail's doing. Without even having Shapeshift, he's just running at them with Necrobook.
They will get save. Mid one, though, has Boots of Travel now. Comes to the bottom lane and tries to use that extra speed to chase anyone down for the Prodigy side.
Boots Travel all about allowing mid one to farm a lane and then be super active and join up with a fight. So you can like Boots Travel in on the Lycan summons or just to a creep wave. So OG, they're just going to keep looking to run at towers and run at VPP.
They want this mid tier 1. Will the setup be there? Is this going to be Prodigy's time? They walk right in. DM looking for the setup. Does not commit in for the Ravage as they clean out Soxa. OG may be forced to retreat, trying to dish out some damage as they backpedal a bit. But ultimately do get the tier 1 down.
And they're okay with this, just even if the game kind of slows down a little bit. And they're just getting a support kill. They've got the PL. If this PL gets farmed, he is kind of the end-all be-all of carries this game. Maybe has a slightly rough time against the Zeus, but considering the Zeus isn't farming particularly well, I'd say this game goes very well for Epileptic, who's gone for the build. I think almost every time I see PL versus Zeus, there's always a hood involved, so he's got that little bit of magic resistance so he doesn't just get blown up by a couple of Zeus nukes, since PL does have a very low health pool.
Yeah, if he's got the items and the will to be able to make it through that power peak where Zeus can just kind of blast down a PL, he can scale his way throughout to the late game, as we see mid one under serious assault with the Fiend's Grip, with the Dragon Tail. Man, it takes a lot of effort, but they do ultimately bring him down. We go coast to coast now bottom as the chase is out for Sumail. Low on mana, juking and jiving back and forth. They're making the move for PL though, trying to TP out. Oh, the burst is there. And his dominant streak is going to be concluded. Sumail picks up the last hit and starts scratching at DM. That is a nice prized pickup for OG. Losing mid one doesn't feel so bad if you're able to get PL on the other side and the outpost. OG they have commanded this Prodigy jungle. They put obviously a lot of importance into it, dumping wards nonstop and just always having a presence there.
Yeah, they've done a good job picking and choosing their fights around that side of the map, where they know VPP haven't got much in the way of good vision, and the PL, he's just been sitting in that jungle farming away, so they find a way to punish him.
They can kind of keep him out of that jungle. It becomes a lot easier to find out where PL is if he's not in the lane.
Yeah.
They can smoke him out.
Very interesting item queued up by PL, the Aghanim Scepter. Before any kind of a Manta style or anything. Getting rid of that cooldown on Phantom Rush, getting rid of the minimum distance so you can always proc the bonus agi when you're fighting a melee hero. Yeah, I haven't seen this. I don't know what the idea is behind it. I think the no cooldown against like some of these heroes who you want to really get to, who can be kind of hard to reach in a fight, like Phoenix, who's diving away, the Bat Rider, who's just going to try and kite you, the Zeus on the back lines, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it in play if it's something he does fully commit for. Whether it be for the benefit of the offensive factor, like you're saying, certainly being able to get to those backlines faster when you only have what feels like one option in your DK to kind of jump those backlines. Or maybe he's using it in a defensive manner to make it away from the speedy lineup of OG. Either way, it's going to be kind of entertaining. Here he is bottom, Phantom rushing his way towards Soxa, has Diffusal, but Soxa able to find a good spot to leap to the high ground and make it away from trouble.
I think one of the key things against Zeus as a PL is you got to play more around your main PL rather than your illusions, because your illusions just get cleared out so quickly. So that's the idea behind the Ags, is that he's going to make his actual hero the carry rather than, okay, I'm an illusion army that you can't deal with, because between Firefly, Zeus, Phoenix AoE, there's so many ways to clear illusions.
Lots of attention as OG try to flirt their way into the Roche pit. Prodigy say, you know, we're here. We know you're doing this. Try to push OG back. They're trading back and forth, and OG can dish out good damage from afar. Epileptic Kid, though, making the commitment onto No Tail here. Not the easiest. He's got that heal. He's got that ult, and here we go. Ravage going to be committed on one side, Egg on the other.
Just ignoring
the
the
bump back, they're moving in, and like you said, they're just pushing past that Egg. They don't care about it. They take down 2 just like that. 2 cores fall. They can backpedal for more as OG split. And what do they want to do with this? Do they want to try to take the Roche themselves? Do they want to push for a tier 2? No, they're going for the Bloodhound chase to find where Saksa is bottom lane.
Yeah, he's managed to juke him and TP his way out of there. He's TPing to an outpost.
Just being captured by DM.
Yeah.
Able to finish the outpost.
20-minute mark is approaching. We'll see if
Can
OG,
you stop him? Is it worth stopping him, Tide?
You don't want to get it too soon, maybe, because then they can take it back. Okay, what's going to happen? Is DM just going to take it right back?
Oh, yeah. And with the Epileptic Kid, I'm getting so excited about this outpost action.
Yeah.
I missed that DK's able to get a snipe kill right there on his Sumail in the bottom lane. But as you can see, also, OG will be denied that XP boost from the outposts, man. Prodigy really posturing up on this one. They do lose Bane as mid one continues chase. You know, fight the good fight for his fallen brethren in Sumail.
Yeah, this game feels like it's getting out of hand for OG. Their ability to scale late game isn't really there. They went for this very mid-game oriented Lycan strat, and they've only taken 2 outer towers, the 2 tier 1s in mid and bottom lane. Meanwhile, VP.Prodigy has gotten all the farm they need on their PL to have a good game. The DK's finished a BKB. The Tide's got the pipe for the team fight, so the Zeus's damage is being mitigated largely. So it feels like OG can't team fight. They can't really push because of this Tide pick, which was a great idea from VPP.
Chase is on for Thompson. Thompson, you know, he doesn't have a lot defensively to offer. He's just all damage. He's actually just turns and just blasts him down with everything he's got.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Zeus's inventory and you're like, yeah, you know, you could probably finish him off clean and easy and fast, but OG have help nearby and they just turn it onto him. And look at this. They segue themselves
misplay.
right to the Roche. And yeah, misplay for PL. Now the team's got to bail him out.
There's no Ravage, but they can stall this with a Breathe Fire. Tide's going to run in anyways.
Gets the Dragon Tail in the mid one. Egg going to be committed inside the Roche pit. And you see Prodigy backpedal now. The lasso pullback. He does have the BKB, not eating much damage, but they're going to get DM. DM is out of there. His Ravage was up in just a couple of seconds' time, and now he's not going to be there to bring it, and OG might be granted the opportunity to go for this Roche. Prodigy don't want to accept it, though. Yep. They're trying their best to dance around the pit. PL's about to be back, and they might have just stalled them long enough.
They have stalled them, but they've given OG a lot of leeway with first that PL kill mid, which was so odd. It looked like PL was like trying to fake him out with the illusions when the real hero was just standing there kind of AFK dying.
Swift moves on to Bane.
OG just going for kill after kill.
Yeah, here it comes. The savagery of OG now. The bloodthirsty crew just rolling through, looking to see who they can get a hold of. Catching Prodigy while they're in a bit of a disarray and not quite, you know, together again as a team.
It sucks as Phoenix, who's doing so much damage in these fights. Like the Tide, even with the pipe, is just being burned down by the Sunray in that last fight. He's doing as much damage as the Zeus, it feels like, in terms of the magic output. And with the Veil amping it all up, Thompson loves that Saksa went for this item. And they are back in the Roshan pit. This time DM has Ravage, but it's too late.
Don't think they want to commit for a follow-up fight on this one. And just like that, OG get themselves back in a pretty good position. They're not totally out of the hole yet, but my goodness, they are seeing the sun.
And all that happens, they saw the PL bottom, so they knew they could go into that Roshan pit. PL had to TP to the top tier 1 tower, but by the time he does, Roche already fallen. VPP, despite the Aegis, they feel strong enough to go fight, which is why them giving up Aegis is kind of crazy, because
Pings
they
out.
are strong.
They are moving in, they smoke up. Maybe OG not anticipating that a fight could be coming while they have that fresh Aegis in pocket. It's only going to cost him Saksa, though, the one to kind of tank the gank, if you will. If OG can just kind of spread out, come together again as a team, they can still use this Aegis on their terms.
Yeah, we'll see. Perhaps once Phoenix is back, they may look to make their next move. Mid one, working on a BKB. He's just pushing out this top lane on Batrider. So we're not going to see any kind of Blink Lasso initiation plays anytime soon. It seems like OG don't feel like they need that initiation. there's not really a good frontline target for him to go on. The Tide is the crack, and the DK can potentially get a BKB off very quickly, so... As it stands, VPP will just take a tier 2 tower and back off.
It's something for their troubles on that smoke movement there, and it's going to buy them a little more time for the ticking clock of the Aegis. Just kind of got to get back to the grind here and build up for those next items, which, you know, after DM has completed his pipe, he's going still down that path of utility, going for the Vlads that was mentioned. We see trouble for little Bane here. He's trying to get some extra bit of vision and support down after their troubles in the mid lane, but he's been spotted. We'll pay the price. But
he scouts the OG gank out, I guess, year 5. He's like, all right, found him, guys. They're not killing us now.
Head north. They're coming down south. Want to stay away from the area if we're not ready and prepared. But OG have already laid out a bounty on PL, at least Sumail did, and said, guys, we got 2.5 minutes to get that bounty complete, because that matters most. Oh, Sumail could be the one in trouble. Lift, pull back into Ravage. Can they burst down the Lycan? Oh, it looks like they can. Sumail's gone. What do OG want to do now? It looks like they want to turn and run when they don't have their big bad wolf. Epileptic Kid puts his focus on the mid 1 now, gets separated a bit. Can they be kited? And can Thompson do enough? No, he's out of mana. He's got to bail out. Whoa. Jump in from FN, not able to cancel the TP, but they do string together a secondary kill, grabbing No Tail on the other side. Bounty time, and look at this mid 1. Sneaky. Able to at least grab the one bounty.
On the hunt. He knows what one is.
Oh, that feeds grip. It's from a different game. Look how the range on that thing.
That keen optic plus Aether lens. The dream items for a Bane.
I don't blame mid 1 for, like, even if he saw Bane in the river, like, yeah, he's not close enough. Oh my goodness, Bane with his feet wet, able to still get that one secured.
Yeah, maybe not expecting that ward there. That also reveals the fact there is an observer ward on that cliff giving the vision. So,
for sure.
You know, there's some upsides to his death there, I guess you could say.
Fortunately for OG, everything they scrapped together with that Roche takedown is kind of being now taken away. It was at one point, you know, the 4K net worth advantage, which didn't seem as bad as the previous 7K, but here we are back at 7K yet again, as Prodigy are just winning the economy game, farming most of the map, and then as we've already mentioned many times, they have that late game, the scaling, the insurance policy. It's mostly, you know, on them to kind of sidestep misplay as we've seen before, and OG to capitalize on those misplays. Here they are on the assault, looking to move in. They catch out Bane near the Roche pit, but they want more. Yep. Sumail, hungry, running. They see a big watermelon. They're thinking about gobbling up. He gets the anchor smash out, but that pesky bird burn doesn't care about how big and tanky you are. Torches them up. They'll take 2 kills themselves. It's going to be Sumail who pockets them both, and they followed up with a tier 1 takedown.
Yeah, just, hey, Ravage is down. Let's go get kills. That's what OG's mantra is right now. They still had a decent-sized window there where they just run at them. Thompson gives them everyone the vision with the Thunder's God's Wrath, and Bane's just playing a little bit too far up. He's trying to play the vision game and not just scout at the enemies, but get some wards down, and he's been punished a few times for it, so not the end of the world. I think VPP are feeling like this game's in a good place because of how well PL's doing, so the Bane more than happy to make some slightly riskier, aggressive moves like that, and ultimately for OG, it's like, okay, sure, we got that, but they're the ones with Aegis. They're not getting that big team fight they're hoping for, they're just getting a few pickoffs.
Here comes Prodigy kind of congregating towards their vision on the bottom part of this map as they head up towards the OG bounty side.
They've got Ravage again, so that may be go time for them. They've smoked up.
Dragon form, they're ready. They've got the boxing gloves on.
FN has an Orchid on his DK.
They see mid 1. They're going to settle for bat.
That's a ping one. He didn't have the BKB.
A ping one? I have not heard that, but it's coined beautifully there. Unfortunately, in those kind of instances where it's a bit tough to react, they punish him for it. They'll get No Tail as a kicker. And now we look to see what they can do with this opportunity of time. The Aegis, I assume, is expired. Plenty of time for Roche. They can spread. They can plant vision. They can keep pressure forward. You have 2 tier 2s here. But, you know, Prodigy, again, they don't have to worry about, you know, progressing the game, I guess, too much.
Their late game with DK, Tide, PL is pretty fantastic. Like, the Lycan just you don't want to go late game against either DK or Tide is like. Even PL is a hero you don't want to go late game against. He's gonna have he's got level 20, so the Phantom Rush range plus the Ag's Phantom Rush with no cooldown, so you can kind of always just chase down the Lycan using that Phantom Rush. It's tough. And the Zeus, I think if he had more net worth, would feel like more of a late game threat, but he's just not being able to move out on the map and farm because there's too many things that kill him.
Yeah, we're not seeing the crazy Agnum Scepter kind of firepower we're normally used to seeing from the Zeus. And while it kind of worked for him early on, it's now taking a lot more effort, as we can see now, even trying to chunk down DM in this very long-winded chase. And now there's going to be a Fade Bolt factor in. It's OG, though. They got to finish what they've started, otherwise they're not going to get dessert. You still got vegetables on that plate, and they can't do it. It's a long chase. Everyone's going to be sharing their battle pass with each other now. As OG going to be a bit exhausted after that one. Ooh, Bane. I don't know if he was ready to grip that one or not, but Saxa is able to flutter out. And now we're going to see Prodigy kind of rush on forward here.
Yeah, they've without shapeshift for another 40 seconds, there's definitely a window for them to at least take these outer towers, bounty runes, 30-minute mark approaches, and both outposts controlled by VP.
All right, here we go. OG able to snipe little Bane. Bane been out of position a couple times this game, trying to provide extra vision and intel for Prodigy, but OG have that vision of their own on their own jungle side, where they feel comfortable to defend. They'll do so.
Yeah, I don't think Bane needs to be making those moves for the vision game so much. Not when you're the ones who have an advantage. They just use shapeshift. You can push down the lane as a team.
Yeah, you got grip, and it's a grip with a really long cast range, so you can put yourself in a safe spot. Good tool to have in a fight, but they'll take a support of their own, catching out No Tail on the outside again. Thought I heard a BKB committed here as mid-one's flying through from the backside. Now the egg going to be committed. Epileptic quickly on the case, and DK, they crack that egg immediately. A buyback is now going to have to be forced out. The chase is on for Sumail, moving from FN, gets the Dragon Tail. They surround the Wolf, and they get him down. Killing spree for your PL. This could be the beginning of the end for OG. How are they going to hold the line now? Their Sumail Lycan is on the sidelines. Looks like they can't follow through with any sort of aggressive push, but you know, Prodigy obviously in a confident position. 12K net worth with that.
I think Prodigy, you're just seeing like the core matchups, and you're like, is there any way we actually lose if we go late game? Like, how do you lose to a carry Lycan when you've got like two of the best Lycan counters in the game in DK and Tide? DK has all the AoE damage with the BKB and the damage mitigation of Breathe Fire. Tide, similar thing, all kinds of damage mitigation. Lycan is just not really a threat to them this game. He can run at the backlines, kill some supports. So I think VPP is just going to always, if given the option, they'll just say, okay, let's just play the farm game, control the map, wait for the next Roshan. Having Aegis, that's kind of our condition for going high ground, and they even previously had a courier just camping over the Roshan pit. They're just constantly scouting out Rosh, waiting for PL to get one more item, and even then they're like, okay, what about one more item? How much scary is he going to be then?
You know, this, Diffusal and Basher feels good, guys, but it would feel better if I'd have that next item, and then it'd feel better if I had that next item. It just, we can really secure this one if we just wait a little bit longer. And, in theory, that does sound great. Just OG are such a shifty, crafty kind of a team, though. They will find any win condition when available to them.
They're looking.
Here we go, though. Prodigy make a confident approach, looking to move in for Sumail as he's trying to shift out. He can't shift anywhere except into his own grave as he falls for a minute now. Could this be the closing argument now for Prodigy to say that we got game number one, as they just evaporate 3 OG members, 4 OG members in a blink of an eye? It's mid-one, the last survivor, as he tries to fly away, but he's flying straight to game number 2 because GG has been called. It is the Prodigy squad who will take game 1.
It's somewhat telling. I mean, the game was going to end there, but OG's usually a team